Hello, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and welcome to my YouTube. I just dripped that all over my leg. I would first like to pay my respects to the Indigenous people on the land on which I sit or stand, the Whadjuk Noongar people, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I haven't recorded in a little bit, and I've got quite a bit of progress to show you. So as always, let's get into it. Okay. So it's going to start with an acquisition, which I've already shown you. So not really new acquisition, kind of. And it's rustling because it's still in the bag. So I'm just going to dump it out. So this is the beautiful An Autumn Clay by Anna of Designs, and this is making up a glorious and gorgeous at the same time, a beautiful test knit jumper that I am working on at the moment. So this is in the luxury DK, which is 8 ply, 100% superwash merino, 225 meters per 100 grams. And this one is in the Mohair silk lace single, 72% fine kid mohair, 28% silk. And this is 420 meters per 50 grams. So I am on to my third ball of DK and my second ball of mohair. And I've got this much left that I haven't wound up. So this is, it's so much fun. So when I went to Brisbane, after I was like, I won't do a test knit again, sign up for another test knit. And I reached out to Susan of Anna of Designs. Actually, I reached out to Maddie of Mad About You and was like, hey, do you know of any like yarn stores around? And then I went to a few. And she was like, why don't you ask Susan? Because I'm going to be picking up some stuff when we all catch up for our brunch. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I reached out to Susan and was like, look, I'm loving like this and this. I would like to pair these together. Can I please get them off you? And she was like, absolutely. And then she brought me an Autumn Clay, which is the one that I've just shown you. And then another, which is a bit pinker. And she was like, I know that you would like this one as well. And I was like, oh, I really do. But I can only choose one. And so I chose this one. And then she brought for me the Suri, I think it's Suri silk, and then the Mohair silk. And the Mohair has a better fuzz, bit better halo for what I wanted. So I thought these two would be perfect. I only saw them in the blank bare skein forms. And I just love how this mohair looks golden. Like it keeps reminding me of avocado dye. And apparently Susan started out as a botanical, like natural dyer, which I can definitely see through all of her products and inspiration. So this is a test knit for JST Knitwear Designs. I keep writing JTS and I can't find any of her emails. And I'm like, oh yeah, because it's not JTS, it's JST. And so I am working on her sweater called the Seafield sweater, Seafield tee, Seafield top, Seafield something, Seafield. Come on, little friend. So I'm really enjoying this. It is so squishy, so luxurious. It is mohair and DK, obviously. So it's knits up really fast, but also the mohair is like this amazing halo. I keep just wanting to stick myself inside it. So I really need it to be done. Even today when I was trying to figure out what to wear while podcasting, because it's like, if I'm in the sun, I'm too hot. If I'm not in the sun, I'm really cold. Typical Australian winter. And then I found this one, but it's got a little, I don't know what that is. It's not food. It hasn't washed out. So it's something that is now stained there. But I wanted to embroider over this anyway, so now it is making me have to embroider it because it's now stained. So when I was putting this on, I was like, I just want this to be ready so I can wear it now. So definitely this is a priority one knit. Aside from it being a test knit, it's also just super fun. So without giving too much away, it is a paid for pattern. This wheat stitch is really easy texture. This one I redid about 4 times because I couldn't read the pattern. Totally my own error. I was trying to do it off memory and it turns out my memory isn't great. So I had to read it again and then I did it better. So I separated for the sleeves and I have gotten just past the final, not the final, the pattern repeat. So I'm into like just the plain knitting for a couple of rounds, but that's where my mohair ends. So I was feeling impatient last night and didn't want to keep doing the body. I don't know why. And just decided if I cast on with the sleeve, I'll get more done. Don't know how that logic works, but it totally worked in my head. So I am using these ones. I'm using the Chalgo red lace interchangeable set, red lace cable interchangeable set. I love these. These are my go-to, especially for DK mohair, like just yes. Then for these ones, I am using my Knit Picks interchangeables. So the cable is from Knit Picks. This is the shorty set, and this is just their regular, one of their regulars, because they've got a couple of different sets. They're all basically the same. They are bamboo. The thing I don't like about it is this join is a little bit rough. If you can hear it. Can you hear like my nail rapping against it? So it does mean that the yarn kind of gets a little bit stuck on it. And also it's bamboo, so it just means I can't go quite as fast in the round as I would like to. But I am enjoying the shorty and then the normal combination. I've got little stitch markers, and so instead of putting them, needle stoppers, instead of putting them on scrap yarn like suggested, I just put them straight onto small circs, so that way I can put the tips on and then just go. So I prefer doing that if possible because I just don't like fiddling around with all the scrap yarn. It really bothers me. This has got such an interesting, it's a circular yoke construction, and the way that you pick up to increase is so much fun. And I definitely want to play around with it in my designs. So I'm really glad that nothing is new in knitting, so I can use it too. I've left the neckline. I'm going to pick up at the end, and I'm actually I'm gonna change this a little bit. So it's 5 repeats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's another 5th one to go. This is 51-inch bust because I did want it oversized, and also all the spots for my size were taken, so I volunteered to do an extra to do a size up, and so it will block out and be a little bit bigger, which I'm totally fine with because an oversized mohair jumper sounds pretty much perfect. This color is gorgeous, but what I'm thinking is on most of the ones that I've seen, there's quite a bit of a gap, or not gap, but like quite a bit of space of stockinette and then ribbing. I'm thinking I'm just going to shorten it. I'm going to do the same amount of, like there's a certain amount of stockinette between each repeat. So I'm just going to do that again and then start on the ribbing straight away. And then basically just continue the ribbing until I'm comfortable. Because it's going to be oversized boxy, I'm kind of happy with it being a little bit shorter. But then for the sleeves, because again, you do the 5, so 1, 2, and then 3 on the sleeve, and then I've got 2 more to go, and then it's again just plain. I'm thinking of adding a 6th one just to balance out that extra bit, because I really want this to be a textured sweater and not just the detail and then leave it alone. So I haven't actually talked to her about it, probably should, but this is just such a fun pattern, and I love how it feels so perfect for autumn and so happy. And so I've got a little stitch marker that Susan provided for me, which is like a little, little pine cone. So it is beautiful. This is my first work in progress. I've made a good amount of effort on this and I'm very happy with it. The other thing that was interesting is the short rows are done a very different way. So normally I do, like when I'm doing short rows, I start at the widest and then I come in, but this one started in and then went out, and I've never done that before. So that was a really fun way to do it. I have never thought of it that way. I still think I'll do my version if I did it again, but I did enjoy trying something new. So this is Seafield. I'm hoping to smash it out tonight and get a whole lot done. I've been working on this in my Hokey Locatelli little bucket bag, and this has been very nice. It's probably a little bit too small for it, but right now I can just shove it in, and it just like features at the top. It's fine. So that is my first work in progress. Then, sorry, coffee. It's decaf, but I just need the taste of coffee at the moment. This cup also, pretty sure it's my little sister's, but it is so much fun. Little London. And then I also have lunch, which is a giant bowl of sliced apples and peanut butter, because I went out for breakfast with Ilsa, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And I had breakfast, but then I haven't had lunch. It's now 3:37. It is the 7th of August, 2022. And yeah, I need food. So I'm drinking my coffee and eyeing off my food. Okay, so I went to, where did I go? I went house sitting for some friends, or really it was cat sitting for some friends when they went up to Broome, and then they got engaged, which is super exciting. And so I brought with me a pile of stuff. And I don't really know how much progress I've made, but I've got the bag, so I'll show you the stuff that's in the bag. So first up, I brought with me this one, which is my Speckles and Bobbles Roald Dahl top. I haven't really made a lot of progress on this. I've gotten it just to where it is, just stockinette. It's helical knitting in the round, so it's just going to keep going forever. But these are on Titchy needles. These are on 3.5 millimeters. And I mean, like, look at the gauge. It is just titchy. See if I can poke through some of these. There we go. But it's so small. Says the girl who hates socks for exactly this reason. So this is tiny to me. Sorry, my phone. Instagram chats. So I really want to get this done, but I just have no attention span to do basic knitting at the moment. I don't know why. I really should have done it, but I didn't. So at least I'm past any of the thinking. All I have to do now is just basic, boxy, stockinette in the round. I really like this, and I love the interesting how the stitches just kind of randomly form extra rows or extra colors. So I'm really excited to see how this goes and how this turns out in the stocking. How do I show you this? I'm really interested to see how it's just going to turn out in the body, because it's already starting to shape up a little bit. So I'm really excited, and every time I knit on it, I get super excited by it. But then I put it down and I put it away and I get something else up, and you know, life. So this was one of the first things I brought with me to a week, by the way, a week-long house sitting, and I packed 5 different projects. Yeah, so we all knew that wasn't going to happen, but that's okay. The next one I packed, which is really on my mind at the moment, but I can't continue this one until I finish the next one I'm going to show you. So this is the mitred square advent jacket that I'm going to do. I'm not going to write this up as a pattern because it's not my pattern, it's someone else's, but I will put up all my notes on Ravelry when I remember to do it. I'm so excited by this. This is, I think this was 4 millimeters, 4.5 maybe. And so I'm actually going to start with a 3.5 and then go up. So I need this one to be done so I can use these tips. So there's a lot of arbitrary knitting rules, as the Knitmore girls like to say. But I do, hello cat fluff. I do have this one in the back of my mind, and just look at that. Like, isn't that gorgeous? I do have this in the back of my mind to hurry up and start doing. And I'm really excited by it. So I just need to start getting into it. So that is that. The next project is the next thing that I've been working on alongside the test knit. So the test knit, because it's mohair and it's fuzzy and it's fluffs everywhere, I haven't been bringing it to work. And I do like to have a side project just for, lunches and dot periods when I'm doing computer work and my hands are free and I need to focus and I can't concentrate. So then I focus by concentrating on my knitting and it helps. It's great. So I've been bringing with me different projects. So I haven't been bringing the test knit because number one, I did find I needed to focus at least at the beginning bit of it. And number two, it's mohair and it's a bit inconsiderate to be in an office when there's mohair flitzing around everywhere. So there's been two projects that I've been bringing in to the office instead. This one is my Advent cardi, which is You Shall Not Be Afraid of Short Rows. And this is the one that I knit both arms inside out, so one arm inside out, so I fixed it. I put this on, I bound it off with just an I-cord. I put it on and I didn't like it. I've still got quite a bit of the ball left though. Like I still have this much of that ball. And I put it up on Instagram being like, what does everyone think? What's your opinion? Because, and a lot of people were like, no, the collar needs to be deeper. Like this needs to be so much bigger. And what I don't want it to do is hide the beautiful colours at the back, but I don't think it will. So that's been, because I really want that peplum bottom. Oof. Hey, genius, you can't podcast with stuff in your mouth. So I really want this peplum to show and to sing and be happy. And I didn't want the collar to prevent it. So I'm going to rip it all back and start it again. I did do short rows in it, which I love. I love the short rows. And I love the shape of the collar, how it comes up bigger in here than it does here. But I hate the collar pulling. Hate it. So I don't know what to do. What I could do is I've got two options that I can see. I'm going to rip it all back anyway, back to the to the picked up edge. I could either do, short rows first, and then do the rest of it, just this 2x2 ribbing. 2x2? 2x2 ribbing. But then it's still going to have this tiered effect, which is what I'm not liking. Or I could do the whole thing and just go. And then right at the end, do the short rows. And then do the I could bind off, picking up all those short rows. And then I would still have the shape, but I wouldn't have the two-tiered crap that I hate. And because the I-cord doesn't exactly fit the colorway anyway. I think that's what I'm going to do. So this is my Advent from 2020. I am desperate for this to be finished so I can wear it because it is August and Australian winter. Well, to be fair, it'll stay cold for a bit, but Australian summer is hot and Australian winter is not very cold. I mean, realistically, it's like 14 degrees today. It's like a Canada summer. I was watching Cozy Up Knits and they were like, it's so hot, it's 28 degrees. And I'm like, oh, that's a calm day. So we're definitely spoiled here in Australia with our heat and our temperatures. So I want this to be done where I can wear it. And I'll be definitely wearing it to work so people can appreciate me. And I've got this much left for the sleeves. And so I'm just going to, I don't really know, because I did, if you haven't watched, I did one sleeve magic loop and then another sleeve on circulars, just like small circs. And the one with small circs, the circumference is a little bit bigger. And so the sleeve is a bit wider, which ironically I actually really like. So I'm thinking I'm literally just going to lay them together, pair them up, see which one is a bit more like this, and then increase until they're the same. And then I've only got, I think I just did a basic cast off edge because just a basic cast off. Which is actually kind of tight, so I'm glad I'm gonna have to undo it and redo it. I might do a maybe Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. Because I think for sleeves, you do need a bit of give. Like sleeve cuffs. Yeah, I think that's what I might do. So this is at the top of the to be worked on pile, very high in the list. And this is the arbitrary knitting rules that I need to finish before I get started on my next advent, which was from last year. So I need to get the 2020 and then 2021. Yes, correct. That is how I'm thinking of things. The other one I've been working on, the other project, is my spirally sweater, which was gifted to me by my beautiful friend, Hannah, who is up in Norway, and she's just such a wonderful person, just a great human. And every time I work on this, I think of her. So what actually happened with this, I'm trying to think. Most of my ones I'm using my Chiaogu metal circulars. This one here I'm actually using my Knit Picks circulars, just my bamboo, but because I find this is a single ply 100% merino, and it's just a little bit too loose to be knitting on metal because I find it can be a little bit too splitty. So I need it on bamboo just to give it a bit more grip. Yeah, that's what I've been finding. Where am I up to? Okay. So I'm up to, I'll show you where I'm actually up to, and then I'll keep knitting on it. This is a sleeve and another sleeve. So I'm up to the yoke. This is a bottom up circular bottom up raglan, I think. No. Bottom up circular yoke because it decreases evenly around. I can English. And just this color, isn't it beautiful? It matches the picture. I didn't actually plan that, but that's awesome. So Hannah bought this for herself and then basically went, yeah, I think it'll suit you better. And then she sent it to me, which is just so astronomically kind. She's just so kind. And then I started knitting this because it really doesn't take a lot of thought. I started knitting this when my ex-partner's dad was sick in hospital. And it's a little bit sheddy, but it's pretty fine. And so I was knitting on this and working on this, and a couple of things happened. First up, his dad passed away, and then we broke up, pretty much related to the dad passing away. So that was a bit difficult. And so then this sweater kind of had not bad memories, but those memories connected. I wouldn't say they were bad, because, you know, I don't think they were inherently a negative thing happening. But it definitely wasn't a kind, you know, it's not like, oh yeah, I'll do that again. Like, it was sad, it was hard. And so not only did I have, those memories attached with this, but then I just knit too far. I just kept going. And so when it said knit to until 10.2 inches from the cast on edge, I just decided it needed to be 10.2 inches from the ribbing edge. And I was going to make this giant sweater that turns out I actually don't have enough yarn for. So I basically stuck it in the corner and said, think about what you've done, think about what I've done, because it wasn't actually this one's fault. And then, so I left it for a little bit. And then very recently, I think because I was house sitting and I was like, I want something easy that is not going to take up any brain space. What can I take with me? And I just grabbed this, and lo and behold, this has now been on my needles and I've done heaps of work with it. So I really should have put a progress marker on it. But basically I got up to, I had knit a decent amount more than this. I had to, can you see at the frame? There we go. I had to rip it back to here where the underarm cast off is, and then leave it all on scrappy yarn. You can see it there where it's just been a little bit picked up a bit funny. That'll block out really easily. But it probably was up to about here when I had to rip it out. And then I did both arms, and then I joined them all together. One thing I did do is I looked at the pattern and then I looked at the pictures, and I have I'm a tall person. I have long arms, I have a long body, all of that. But I'm also a bit chunky. Like I'm a, mid-size plus, almost plus size. Like I'm a bigger girl. And so number one, this is ribbing at the bottom. So it's going to be a little bit, stretchy and grabby. And then number two, it is a shorter sweater. And so it's just going to sit right at where I don't want highlighted. So I was thinking, right, what am I going to do? How am I going to kind of work with this and still honor the pattern, but make it my own? And I'd already ripped out and I was like, well, that was, I should have thought about it. What other options have I got? So I decided instead to add an extra repeat on the arms. So with these spirals, it should have ended like here, but I added it up to about here, wherever. Just so that there was a bit of extra length on the arms. I also accidentally cast on an odd number. It's meant to be, 72 or 76 or 66 or whatever. And I did 75 or whatever the number is. So these are 2 knit stitches together. So when I had to increase for everything, I had to add a couple of numbers. This is a typical Norwegian pattern, I would say it's a typical Norwegian pattern written for English audience. So it's a translation, and so there are some bits that I'm like, okay. And there are other bits that it just doesn't hold your hand as much. It's like increase 14 stitches around. You're like, oh, I have to do that, do I? So things like that, which I find in most English written patterns, it's a little bit more hand-holdy. Not that it bothered me, but I did find it interesting. But I like the fact that I've got this balloon-ish change. You can see it just kind of puffs out, which I like. So I added a little bit more length in the sleeve because I didn't want it to be, I don't know what length its sleeves they are, but I wanted a bit more longer. I like to push up my sleeves, so I like to have enough that I can push them up. And so that was that. Then I put them all on the ground, and I just kept on going. Now, while I said I had some interesting memories of hospital beds with this one, and then I did put it in timeout, instead, I started knitting on it again in a different situation. Like I was house sitting, I was in a different place, like literally a different house. And I think that helped to kind of change the tone of the memories with it. And then I had my uni assignment. Truck. Then I had my uni assignment to do. So for those of you who don't know, I am a high school teacher. I love my job, and I'm also studying my master's in teaching English as a second language, which I'm doing 1 unit a trimester, so 3 units a year. So I put myself under way too much pressure and try and be perfect all the time. In my grades, I need to chill, and I think this time has taught me to chill because I made a mistake. So I misread the question. The question the question I read was compare another language to English and basically talk about the struggles that English second language learners have in your context. And I was like, you know what? Done. I can do that. I can definitely do that. Most of my students in my class, or at least in my school, speak Hazaragi. And so Hazaragi is from the Hazari people who are in Afghanistan, and it is a dialect or a offshoot of Persian. And I was like, you know what? Done. Let's definitely compare this. This will help. This will give me some structure and some strategies for my students, and it'll be amazing. So what the actual question said was using a language that you know. Guess who doesn't speak Persian? So I spent a week learning Persian. Because I'm a genius. So that was not the most fun. Really enjoyable, to be honest. I love learning languages, so I enjoyed the challenge. I don't enjoy the time pressure I put myself under. And so it was many nights of, working all day, teaching mental teenagers who are very endearing and beautiful, and I do love them, but oh my God, they are a lot. And then coming home and learning a new language. Yeah, so I had to come home and learn a new language, and that was interesting. So I needed something to occupy my hands with while my brain was frantically learning something brand new. And I actually read a study that says people learning a second language or another language as an adult actually do better if they have something to do with their hands. So they did a test group. I can't remember what study it is. They did a test group where they did people who just did like basic grammar exercises, normal speaking, blah, 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 like a normal classroom setting, and another test group, and they were allowed to do other things. They could doodle, they could draw, they could knit, they could crochet, they could whatever. And the second group actually did better because they had something to manipulate, and it's that left brain, right brain crossing over, all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let's use science in action and let's definitely do this. So I started knitting on this frantically. And I think that's why I have so much progress made in it. It is the 7th of August. My Seafield Test knit is due on the 24th. So I have 2 weeks. Just under, just over, to get this done. And I kind of set myself a challenge of if I can get this one done as well. So as I knit this one, basically I've done the first decrease for the yoke, and then I'm coming up to the second. And so I decided to do one wheat pattern and then one decrease section, and then one wheat pattern and one decrease section. So it's making me really engaged because I'm constantly swapping between projects, but I'm getting progress in each of them. Like I'm seeing where I'm up to. And I'm not using progress keepers because I haven't told you guys that I was doing this on the podcast. So now I will. I'll add them in so that I can see where I've gotten up to lately. But because it's been section by section and it's something tangible, like a decrease round or a whole wheat stitch, which is 20 rows. So that's been really cool. So I've been feeling very productive and getting a lot done. And then I finished off my essay, handed it in, and then put this down. So I am reminding myself that I actually need to pick this back up. But yeah, it's been so much fun just to pick this back up and create new memories with it that are positive. I do want to add to all of this and say it wasn't my father who was sick or who passed away, and I do understand that I was a guest in that situation and I was kind of an onlooker. I wasn't really a part of it, and so when I'm saying negative memories, it's not necessarily my trauma that I've gone through. And so I do understand that if you say start knitting a project and then something deeply traumatic that happens in your life, frog it. Like whatever you need to do, chuck it, frog it, frame it with the needle still in it. I don't care. Like whatever works for you. This is what is working for me and this project. So just a quick afterthought disclaimer on that one, because I don't want to be saying advice that isn't fair or isn't contextually appropriate. So those are all my whips, my current projects, and then I have a few acquisitions, and yes, they're all at my feet. Let me put this down because I actually need to have my hands to show you things. One, there we go. It's very addictive because it's only a few stitches and then you've got like another little texture, and then it's just, you keep wanting, you're like, I'll do it up to the next little bit and then I've got to do one more over, but then I've already started, so I've got to do it again, and it's very addictive. I like it. So, I'll do these ones first. Most of these you've already seen. I have these from Anna of Stitchcraft Wizardry. I had bought these, maybe a year and a half ago. There is fluff in my peanut butter. That's disgusting. Okay. So I bought these a while ago, and these are these 4. So the order I'm going to do them in is this. So this one is Baby Bright. This is Canary Spark. This is Patty Loves Lucky. And this is Buddy and Champ on the Rainbow Bright inspired collection on House Elf Liberty base, 85% superwash merino, extra fine merino, 15% nylon, 4-ply, 400 meters over 100 grams. But what I've done is I've taken 5 grams from each of these because I was doing a yarn swap where you had to take away 5 grams, which is why the bottom of them look like defunct jellyfish. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And yeah, so I really want to do like a top or something, and then I was worried that maybe I wouldn't have enough yarn for these, even though actually I think I will. So I don't know what I'm stressing about, but I've decided I'm going to knit with them, along with everything else in the world. Knitting. And so I was thinking, well, what if I don't have enough for this? What if I want, because I want to see if I can do like a color work with these where they not fade into, but they move into one another. And literally it'll be like that. So light at the top and then going into the dark. And I was really thinking about it and I didn't know what to do. And then I saw this on Anna's Instagram on Stitchcraft and Wizardry. And so I reached out and was like, hey, do you reckon that would go? And she was like, not really, because it is a different dye lot. And I was like, yeah, cool, I'm going to get it. I don't actually think it goes, but I like that I've got it. So this is Where the Wild Things Are on House Elf Liberty base as well. So the same base as these ones. This is Where the Wild Things Are. Now that shut up. Family chat this time. Now that I see this with these ones, I don't like it together, but I do like this on its own. The thing is, I keep buying stuff and I keep forgetting to put it in the giveaway box. We'll talk about that in a minute. I should do it? No, not yet. I'll keep adding stuff to it and then I'll go through it and be like, you can have all this. So I've got a giveaway at the end of the year, which I'll talk about in a minute if I remember, because I keep forgetting to. So this one is Where the Wild Things Are, inspired by the book, and it is beautiful, but I just don't think it quite fits with these. So I'm not going to put them together like I originally thought. I am going to make something with these, and then I think I might give this one away because it is stunning, but it's a single skein, and I just don't know what I'll do with it. So that is one acquisition. The next one is my subscription of mini skeins. Oh, I need to also say, I'm sure someone out there is going to be proud of me. I cancelled my Knit Crate subscription because all I do is get it and then complain. So I cancelled it because I've realised that I'm actually not enjoying it at all. And yeah, so that makes me a little bit happier. So this is the Loom mini skein set from Loom in England. And this time I have Peace tea, which I will take to work because I'm sure I'll need it at some point. And then I opened up the box and I didn't open up the packaging so that I could do it with you. This is the July mini skein set, mini skein club. I do wish that they had names for each of them, but they don't, but that's okay. But yeah, so I've got these ones. I'm not going to do anything with them until I know what all of them look like. I should go get June's. I'll go get June's and I'll show you what June then July looks like. So this is June's. Oh, Astrid. Only in your world would things like that happen. I don't remember how they were, so it's just gonna go like that. I wonder if I can do, not really. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I don't know. Okay. There we go. That is June's mini skein club. And then, why did I take it out of the box? I don't know what I'm doing, guys. This is July's. So there's a definite colour family theme going on, which I do like. Yeah, this is really not working. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, nice family vibes going on. I'm just gonna pull these down. And so am I much happier that I swapped from knit crate to loom? Absolutely. Do I know what I'm making with them? Definitely not. But am I really, really, really happy to have them? Yes. Okay. Coffee again. Yeah. So, two things last. First up, I made a little to-do list because I love to-do lists. And this is my knit list. This is all the things I want to do. So I've got my Aylin cardi, which is the You Shall Not Be Afraid of Short Rows, Spirally sweater, which I'm working on, Seafield sweater, which I'm working on, my Knit or Dye Aus swagger jacket, which is what I need to do after the Aylin cardigan and everything else. And then I've got a cardi that I'm going to do for my friend's wedding, which I'm so excited by. And I need to reach out to Mel of Three Cats Yarn because her current colourway for Colourway Collective, I think it's Colourway Collective, is exactly what Nick wants. So perfect. And I'm doing Devon. I think it's Devon. It's either Devon or Darren by Jacqueline C. Slack. And then tops, I've got my pink singlet, which is the same as my black singlet, but I'm going to redo it in pink. I've got two lace, which I got when I was in Brisbane. And oh my God, I am just so obsessed with thinking about what to do with them. I can't knit these fast enough to get onto these. I am so excited. They are like the light at the end of my tunnel and I just need to hurry up and knit things. They're going to be lace weight tops, single skein, basically knit until they run out. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Eucalyptus, my trio, which I did my bud and then it was massive because I didn't swatch. My Roald Dahl, which is the Speckles and Bobbles. And then Where the Wild Things Are is what I decided before I got the Where the Wild Things Are and then decided I'm not going to have that one. I've got more to show you. Anyway, sorry. So I'm going to rename it. I've also missed out a couple of other things. So on here, I've got my Monsters Inc., which is using Woolen Works yarn in the Monsters Inc. colorways. I've got lace sections, which is what I have no idea what to call it. But it is using Ash and Eve Designs yarns in the Woodland Wonderland colorway, and the little minis, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm using Bluebell Dell, and 5-set of minis, and I'm so obsessed with it, but I haven't been able to get started on it because everything else that's going on. And then I've got two more shawls or cows that I want to do as well, which is the Brioche Meet Me in Italy cowl, which has had no movement. Not quite halfway on that one. And then people are running. And then the other one is the Cozy Cabin Advent, which I also want to do, and I want to YouTube and literally do like a version of it that would be YouTube, like done on YouTube tutorial. I don't know what to call it. So this is actually a work in progress list, and hopefully I'll be ticking off a few things very soon. Okay, now two more things. Here we go. So I had I had breakfast with my friend Ilsa this morning, and Ilsa knits, pretty sure, or Mama Ilse. Ilsa knits, Ilsa_knits on Instagram. And she is local to me. She's in Perth and she is a wonderful friend. And I've missed her so much. So catching up with her was wonderful. And I know she has made some awesome bags. And I was like, hey girl, bring them along. It was actually so funny that she did. So she was like, oh, they're only really small. And I know you're working on big projects at the moment. And I was like, yeah, that's all right. Like, I'm sure I can work on something. I've got a million things I can work on as my list shows. So bring whatever. So she pulls out this one and I was like, yep, mine. Thank you. Thanks. It's mine now. I need it. So it's got leather bottom. It's got leather handles. It's also got a leather pockets on the inside. They're like suede. It's like suede leather. It's really nice. I love this blue fabric, which contrasts with the Botanics, and it's got a little ring that you can put your stitch markers on, or scissors or whatever, or you can even just feed your yarn through it and walk around with it while knitting, which I like to do a lot. So this bag, as soon as she pulled it out, I was like, yeah, thank you. So that is mine. And then she pulled out a couple of other zippy ones. And when she first said zippies, I was like, nah, like I'm not big on, I don't really want the zippers. Just because I'm always going to get my yarn stuck in it. Like the spirally sweater is in this bag. Oh, I should tell you about this bag as well. So along with the yarn, I've got lip gloss, okay, there we go. Along with the yarn, Hannah gave me this bag, and because it's a little bit too big for the bag, I have to really carefully run my finger underneath as I zip it closed, just like holding it shut. So there's my finger in there, just to make sure I don't get it caught on any of the yarn, and there's literally yarn bits inside here everywhere. So that's why I was a bit hesitant of zippers, because I just don't want my yarn getting caught, and I'm clumsy enough to get it caught wherever I go. So that was worrying to me. But this has got heaps of pockets inside. But along with the pockets inside, I put my twill and print row counter on. So because there's a certain amount of rows that you do until a decrease, and I am not going to remember how much I've done because I put it down, pick it up. I decided to do a row counter like this. So I'm actually up to number 5. So I will change it. Nope, that's 3. There we go. So up to number 5. It's a little bit dirty, but we don't tell anyone. But it makes me so happy. It's happy little sunflowers, and it's just that little sense of achievement that I get to click it the next time. It just really, really works for my brain. So that's been really fun. So when I was thinking zippers, I was like, no. And then she pulled out this one, and I was like, yeah. So this is like a little suede, just a little pouch, notions pouch or whatever. I would put so much in here. Honestly, I would use these as just like going out. So I would just put my purse, my perfume, and lip gloss, and phone and keys. That's it. So these are, for me, multi-purpose. They don't have to be with knitting, and it is so soft. Like it's just, it's really delightful. I don't have makeup on, so I haven't ruined it. Yay! So, yeah, I really love this pouch. And so again, she was kind of like, oh, I don't think you'll like it. And I was like, yeah, no, I also need that one. Thank you. So then she pulled out 2 others, or she pulled out a few others. I was like looking through them, and I was suddenly reminded of the fact that I've decided every time I buy something, I'm also going to buy something for you guys and put it in my giveaway, which I keep forgetting to do. So then I was like, right, well, these pouches are really pretty, and I will buy one, but then I need to also buy another one for you guys. So what do I do? And so I was thinking about it and just kind of tossing up, and I love big, bold, geometric prints. And this one made me so, so happy. So the inside is just a really plain, like checkered inside. There's no pockets on this one, but it would be perfect for like a 2-skein project, 1-skein project. So that shawl that I'm thinking of would be darling in here. The Ash and Eve one. And yeah, it would just be so delightful, and I just loved this colour. There's an artist called Emma Blythe, and she works up in Broome, and she paints things like this. And it is my long-term dream to be able to casually spend $10,000 on a painting and afford one of hers. And so if I can't spend $10,000, I'll have a bag. Thank you very much. So, you know, what you can do. This has also got a little suede or leather attachment with a ring for your stitch markers or whatever else. And then I know not everyone's really into the super brights. And so I was thinking, well, because I've got to get one. If I get one for me, I've got to get one for you. That's how it works. So I got this one. And this one, it just is really sweet. It's got little birds and little flowers, and it just makes me so happy. So I'm thinking with the giveaway, what I might do is just break it down into a couple of sections. Literally whatever I pull out will be for different people. And this is going to be one of the sections because it is gorgeous. The inside of it is, ooh, oh, it's like a dark blue-green, like a dark teal. Oh, that is pretty. And it also has a little hoop, a little ring. So this is stunning. So this is going to be for you, whoever wins. Whoever's wins, I don't know what to say. But yeah, so this is from Ilsa of Ilsa Knits. She's selling a few of them. She's still got a few, so I would recommend reaching out to her and saying, hey, I really like your stuff. Have you still got any to sell? The funny thing that happened this morning is as we were sitting there just having, breakfast, and she had her bags out, and these two lovely older women came and they were sitting next to us, and they were like, oh, what are you doing? And we were like talking about knitting, and then one of them was like, oh, these bags are beautiful. And I was like, thank you. She made them. She did. She made them. Because I am that friend. And they're like, wow, they're really stunning. And then they were saying to Ilsa, are you still making them? And she said, no, I'm actually getting rid of them. Like, I'm selling them. And they were like, oh, well, okay. And then they bought some. So it also had quite a productive morning, making some little sales and making some friends, which was just so much fun. And it was really sweet. It was just a really lovely morning. So that was this morning's bag fun. And yeah, so I've got these ones for you. Most of them for me, one for you. And I will, I'll also put where the wild things are. Where did I put that one? Here we go. I will put this one in here so I remember where they go. But I mean, isn't that just a happy little combo? So friendly. Makes me really happy. Okay. The last thing I was going to show you, it's been almost an hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But the last thing I want to show you is some books that I got. And I've got a lot more coming because I like books. And so I was thinking, I'll just quickly show you them, but are you interested in knitting books? Are you interested in my take on knitting books? I've got quite a few really good ones, and I also need to start decluttering in order for me to prepare to go to Europe. So I might have to take a good hard look at some of mine and think about what I'm going to get rid of. So I might end up having to de-stash some knitting books. So if you are interested, please comment and let me know if you would like me to actually talk about them. And then, yeah, I'll maybe save them up and make some notes about each one. It won't be too long, hopefully. But I'll talk about, all the different ones because I would like to do that. And I'm always interested in other people's knitting books. So that would be really fun, I think. But let me know if you would be interested in it. So super quickly, I got, OCD is the wrong word, but I am very, hello beautiful. Hi. Yeah. Oh, Bubby, that's that. You're going to hit your head. Hello, darling. Is this Cleo, my mum's cat? Yes. Would you like to say hello? Can I pick you up to say hello? Oh. Hello. Cleo had a bit of an accident. Next door neighbour, or behind neighbour, has chickens. And I think in the recent storms, because it's winter, we've had some pretty heavy wind, the fence blew down. And so she managed to get in, and they've got traps, and she got her foot stuck in a trap. So all of a sudden at 9 o'clock, we were rushing over to the vet. In the car, her foot comes out of the trap, so magically she's fine. But she's been an inside cat for the last few days, and she's definitely taking stock of life. She's not a young, sprightly little thing anymore, so she's been a little bit shocked. Anyway, books. So the first two that I definitely, this is what started me buying the books, because I was like, well, this is amazing. So this is called Knit, Fold, Pleat, Repeat by Norwegian. And she's just an exceptional knitwear font of all knowledge. And what I had originally thought, so first up, look at these awesome patterns. Like, I want to make that. That is so cool. So what I'd originally thought was this just being folded. It's not. I'm going to move my apples. Have a look at the front cover. Like, it's actually little welts. They've actually just been properly created. It's amazing. Could you imagine this? Oh my goodness. Imagine this in like an Advent something. Oh, I've got it. An Advent blanket with this, but using like, oh, I need to make this. Okay. Okay, this is where my brain starts like, so I have got, I should talk to you about Advents. God, so much going on. Quickly, I won't sidetrack too long. Quickly, the Olivia and Oliver Fibers, Tam, she's just so beautiful and so kind. So she, I got her Advent last year, and it was called Wanderlust 2021. And obviously, my whole vibe is like Wanderlust. So I was like, yes, I need this, and it was amazing. And then over Vlogmas, I proved that I cannot read out words if I know what they sound like but don't know what they look like, or vice versa. So Yosemite, I kept saying Yosemite. So not the best. But then she announced that she was doing another one, like a 2022 version, and I was like, oh, I need. And then she did pre-orders, and I just kept missing them. And then the last one, I set an alarm, and I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, I'm actually traveling at the moment. Like, my clock's messed up. I don't know when my time to your time is. Now my time to this time to your time. Like, there's a lot. And then she was like, look, it's actually in 10 hours, like or 12 hours or something. She's like, you're a little bit ahead. And I was like, And she goes, is that okay for you? And I was like, it is 3 a.m. my time. But don't worry, I'll set an alarm. I'll get it. Don't stress. She goes, I'll put one in the shop for you right now. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I'll just put it in because I know what it's like to wait until stupid o'clock and not be able to get it. So she just literally put one in just so I could get it. And it's just so kind. So I have said to her, I was like, number one, love everything you do, love everything you touch, love everything you make. It's amazing. Number two, I don't want to use your 2021 Advent because I'm waiting for the 2022 and I want to see how they complement. And she was like, that sounds fair. And then she was like, I can't wait to see what you come up with. So definitely this as a blanket using the 2021 and 2022 Advent, because it's going to be like, yes. I need to calm down, but that sounds like fun. I think I'll do that. So I haven't actually looked through this one yet, because I got it and then was just so wowed by the front and back cover that I literally haven't even opened it. And I won't yet. The next one I also got was this one, the Twisted Stitches source book, and this jumper on the back gives me so much happiness. I was saying that I've got other lace weight tops that I really want to make. I do want to do stuff with Twisted Stitches. So this I actually bought pretty much for that top. So I know I'll be using it. Then the book depository is a really helpful resource and likes to recommend new things for me to try and find and make and do. And so I did. And so I found this one, which is Knitting Modular, Shawls, Wraps and Stoles by Melissa Leekman. So I always read, especially nonfiction books, with highlighters or tabs or something. I like to be active in my reading. And so this one is, oh my goodness, it is amazing. So it starts off with a 7-step shawl. Basically, choose your silhouette, so what shape you're going to do, stitch pattern, background texture, edging, cast on tab, border, and bind off. So it's 7 steps. And the whole book is all about those 7 steps. You've got those 7 things. And then at the back of the book, she's got other shawls that she's made. And literally, it's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it just goes through how to do it for each of them. And I just think it's so clever that she's done it like that. And I really enjoy the mix and match, choose your own adventure, but guided. I just think that's so much fun. So I really, if you are thinking about designing, and wraps and shawls and stuff are probably the best to start designing in, because they don't have to be customized and fitted. It can be one size fits all, and they can be really easy. So I definitely recommend this book. This is awesome. And then on the same vein, same theme, I also got Custom Shawls for the Curious and Creative Knitter. And this is by Kate Atherley and Kim Bryan Evans. So I've heard of Kate Atherley before. I don't know where, but I do know that she is an accomplished author and knitwear designer. So again, I just went through, these have no meaning over what color, it was just whatever one I pulled out next. But there's some really awesome stuff that goes on. For example, minimum requirements of yarn used for each size or shawl. What were some of the other really cool things that like made me just lose my mind in happiness? There's a whole lot of techniques and support. Oh, hang on, it was over here. Estimating how far you can go with your pattern, and it gives you the math. It gives you, and I hate the math, so this is amazing. It gives you all the details, all the charting, all the step by step. It is so smart, and I am so happy with this. It is brilliant. And again, you've got like a little Excel spreadsheet of exactly how to do it, and chef's kiss, brilliant. So that just made me so happy. It talks about color, which I feel like I already know, but then it also talks about color pulling and why it happens, how to create it, how to get around it. And then it talks about striping and why do stripes look bigger, and just so smart. And then it's got a stitch dictionary in here. It's also got a border and edging dictionary, and then it's got patterns right at the end. So again, such a smart idea, such a smart way of doing things. And I'm really happy with this book. So that is my current whips and my acquisitions and my plans. I'm hoping to get at least the Seafield done and probably the Spirally done in the next 2 weeks. So next time you see me, I'll be wearing new swag. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. If you've made it this far, you probably like it, or you could put up with me. So please do subscribe. And yes, giveaway, just briefly, I'm running a along. It's a do along, everything along, on Instagram, where you can find me at wattle&.wool. I am basically talking about, I've got these like bingo cards basically for different months, and if you do them, tag me, or if you do even just the year one, tag me in it, and I'll see. And then that's what I'm doing is a big giveaway. So some of them are things like July was cast on a Christmas sweater, August 9th is Book Lovers Day, I think. March 28th is Black Forest Cake Day. So some of it's like Donut Day, or it could be go for a walk, go for a drive. You know, like I drive to work every day. Maybe I'm going to turn left instead of right and go a bit scenic and just go for a little drive on the way home. You know, it doesn't have to be anything big. It's just more about like mindfulness, just doing little things. You really don't have to do them all. I'm averaging 3 or 4 out of the 9, so you don't have to do too much. But I think it's really fun to see when I set little small intentions to see how I'm going. And then with the big one, I try to make them all craft related. So to do with knitting, some of them are crochet, but not very many, because I didn't crochet before this year. So when I made it last year, I didn't think about that. I apologize. And so that's been really fun to have some things like, you know, knit a one skein project, beanie, done. Knit an advent project, almost done. So things like that. I've been having a lot of fun just finding ways to hit goals that I didn't know I could do. So if you are curious about it, I might put it up here as well, and so you can take a quick read through. And if you are curious, please do join in on Instagram at waddle&.wool. And yes, if you, like I said, if you like, please do like and subscribe. And I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, and I will see you then. Bye.